Chapter 1: The Age of Manufactured Consent. The further a society drifts from truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. George Orwell. You're not free. Let's start there. You're a consenting prisoner, shackled not by iron bars but by calendars, logins, likes, and job descriptions you didn't write. You've mistaken the cage for the sky, because the walls were painted with opportunity and hung with inspirational posters. But the air you're breathing is filtered, the path you're walking was paved to keep you distracted, and the script you call your life was written long before you memorized your first lines. We were all born into a box wrapped in patriotic ribbon and corporate logos. From birth, you were measured, stamped, vaccinated, tracked, programmed, assigned. Your dreams were swapped for goals someone else sold you, and then you were told to call that ambition. What you call truth is often just the loudest lie, repeated with the most funding. They taught you how to pledge allegiance before you learned what the word meant. They gave you history books as if they were sacred, never telling you that history is written by whoever survived long enough to edit the past. You weren't taught how to think. You were taught how to obey. Did you know in Alabama it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church if it causes laughter? This law isn't an outlier. This is a crack in the foundation. Your reality is governed by systems so absurd. They rely entirely on your apathy to survive. This is what Noam Chomsky meant when he coined the term manufacturing consent. They don't need your belief. They just need your exhaustion. Drown you in a flood of conflicting headlines, empty hashtags, and dopamine traps until you stop asking questions. Because confusion is the ultimate currency of control. A confused public is a controllable public. Look around. Who are your heroes? Athletes with brand deals. Celebrities with teleprompters? Influencers paid to smile next to products they don't use. Your news is no longer the reporting of facts, it's the curation of outrage. Your apps aren't tools, they're pacifiers. And your mind isn't your own, it's leased hourly to whoever can trigger you into clicking. And just when you think you're choosing something real, you're usually just selecting between pre-approved illusions, red team or blue team, paper or plastic, Apple or Android. You think you're a rebel because you pick oat milk over almond? You think you're free because you get to pick your brand of leash. It goes deeper. The education system wasn't built to cultivate free thinkers. It was designed to mass-produce predictability. That's why desks are in rows. Bells dictate your movement. You're rewarded for memorization and punished for deviation. You weren't trained to solve problems. You weren't trained to take orders. From your first day in school, they began feeding you the story of a world that made sense. A world of clean answers, of just wars, of benevolent governments, of heroes and villains. But real life doesn't work like that. Real life is messy, ambiguous, moral lines blur. But if you knew that, you'd start to question everything. And they can't afford that. So they keep you asleep with slogans. Land of the free. Support the troops. Follow the science. None of these phrases mean what you think they mean. Freedom? Try missing a credit card payment and see how free you feel. Support? Ask a homeless veteran if he feels supported. Science? That word has been weaponized to justify every form of tyranny in the last 5 years. If they really wanted science, they'd encourage skepticism. But they want obedience. Ask yourself why you can be imprisoned for possessing a plant while billion-dollar companies sell synthetic happiness and call it medicine. Ask why we praise productivity but ignore burnout. Why we idolize wealth but forget that most millionaires didn't get there by following the rules we were told to obey. They don't want you to wake up. They want you busy, because a busy mind is too tired to revolt. But the glitch is showing. The code is unraveling. People are snapping. They're seeing through the charade. The left and right wings belong to the same bird, and it's been shitting on your head while you fight over breadcrumbs. So what do? You stop playing their game. You pull the thread. You stare down the absurdity until it flinches, You remember that civilization is a fragile illusion held together by your compliance. That rules are just widely accepted suggestions enforced by people who believe harder than you do. The system ends when you stop pretending. When you stop showing up out of habit. When you stop arguing with people who haven't questioned a single belief they inherited. When you walk away from conversations designed to trigger you. When you see a badge and remember it's just metal and fabric unless you bow. You are the power source, not them. Never them. The age of manufactured consent only works when you mistake conformity for morality and authority for truth. But once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. Not comfortably, anyway. And now that you're here, reading this, feeling the static of dissonance crackle under your skin, you have a choice. Rip off the mask and meet yourself, not the version they programmed. Not the one that fits in, but the real one. The inconvenient, unbranded, ungovernable, unpredictable soul you buried under profile pics and rituals. Or keep pretending. Keep smiling through the surveillance. Keep nodding at the news ticker while your gut screams bullshit. But know this, the door is open now. The light's been turned on. And every moment you don't walk through it, you're lying to yourself a little more. You weren't born to perform. You weren't born to obey. You weren't born to die slowly in a cubicle while your dreams rot in a Dropbox folder. You were born to burn. Let this be the match.